All right, we're here at Sport Machines. These guys have an awesome collection of trucks, Cyclones, Typhoons, some super rare S10s, all kinds of cool stuff. You guys know we love S10s, and this place is only an hour and a half away from us, so there was no way we couldn't come here. I don't think he has a ton of people come here, but he's been nice enough to let us look around, and he's going to explain some stuff about what he has. And he also does have a really nice Cyclone that's for sale. I don't know if Samantha's watching this or not. She might have to sign off before I say that. But, as a S10 enthusiast, I don't know how I could not have one. So we'll see. Let's check it out. Let's check out his collection, see what he can show us, and maybe we'll have some kind of a deal on S10 before we leave. We're back out here at the house, looking at the shop. A lot of stuff going on out here. And as you guys know, today's video sponsor is Brunt. We got our Brunt work boots on. We always have our Brunt work boots on. When we come out of the job site, not only the job site, we go out on our industrial jobs, quote jobs, anything that we're worried about, our feet getting hurt or just want to be comfortable, we wear our Brunt work boots. Why? Because, well, they hold up really good. They're safe. They're oil, heat, and slip resistant. Best part about these Brunts is the day I got them, they felt good. I didn't have to wear them for 3 weeks and get calluses on my feet and everything else for them to feel good. They felt good right out of the box. And that's something that most work boots don't have. Not only that, Brunt work boots are a great value. And, well, it's the only work boot I wear. I've been wearing them for about 2.5 years. Some of my guys wear these work boots every single day, out to dinner. If you're looking for any super comfortable workwear, make sure you check out Brunt Workwear. Just click the link in the description below to get $10 off your first purchase today with a risk-free trial. Just use code CJRace10 at checkout. Thanks, Brunt, for sponsoring today's video. How's it going?
Good, how are you, man?
Good. This is Tom from Sport Machines, and he is the man when it comes to Cyclones and Typhoons, and, well, even some S10 stuff, right?
Whole bunch of S10 stuff.
Yeah.
Anything S10, but mostly Cyclones and Typhoons.
Yeah.
Can't be in Cyclones and Typhoons and not be into S10s.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And I think we learned that he has some pretty good S10 parts, so now all the rusty stuff we got, we may be able to fix up. So that's good news, too.
Yeah, we're going to try to elevate your S10 game.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm excited about it. We need some more S10s for sure. So he's got a really rare truck he had told me about, and I want him to tell the story on this truck because it's I've never heard anything like this. And explain what this truck is right here.
So what this is the body to the Super Coupe. The Super Coupe was part of GM's marketing program in the 90s when they went after the land speed record. And after they had done the land speed record with Banks Power, they turned one of the trucks into a drag racing truck and they named it the Super Coupe. And what you see here is we thought it was lost, we thought it was destroyed, and by sheer accident we came across a truck that had the color scheme, and then we went and looked at it, and it's the body of the original Super Coupe truck. And so of course we had to get it. And we brought it here without any idea what to do with it, but it was just such a cool piece of history that we had to save it. We had to at least bring it home and kind of figure out after that. So
yeah,
now when you say Super Coupe, what was the main difference between this and, let's just say, like a regular GMC, was it Cyclone?
Well, the Cyclone wasn't a thing yet when they made the Super Coupe.
Oh.
So the Super Coupe was a tube chassis drag race specific truck. It had a 5-liter V6, and they went drag racing with it. They would take it to NHRA events, and then eventually they raced them they did the Cyclone Challenge and would bring this truck out and go do drag racing passes at the quarter-mile tracks.
Super cool. And it's one of one.
One of one.
They never made...
No, they made that one out of one of the LSR trucks, and then when they were done with it, we thought it was just lost. And we had only seen it in posters, seen some pictures here and there on some calendars, maybe some IHRA magazines back in the day, Drag Illustrated, stuff like that. But that's it. That's all we ever knew about it.
That's so crazy. A one of one S10, and possibly the cab has been crushed or lost or scrapped back then.
Yeah, the cab was probably, destroyed. But the body panels, when we went and saw this, we thought it was just some old race truck and that somebody had colored the same way, which we thought was cool to begin with. And then when we approached it, we saw that the windows were Lexan, the hood had the same hood pins as the LSR, the fenders were gutted, the grill was fake, and the bed had cutouts for the slicks. So I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? And the best we can figure out is that somebody had salvaged the body panels, because the paint's accurate, the layers of paint. And fortunately, we had the experience of being with the LSR Cyclone that we found a few years ago. So we had a little bit of the history of kind of how they were put together and what they did. So a lot of the similarities with that, like hood pin location, the roll bar location, even the paint, because the LSRs were layered paint like they did back in the 90s. It wasn't just a decal. This is all paint, but you could see the original truck was black, then the color was blue, which is the primary color now, and then where it was purple was over the top. So we're like, wait a second, who would go through the trouble to do that on a replica or a race car? So the fact that a lot of things started to line up, and it was like, wait a second, these are original body pieces stuck on an extended cab, so at least somebody saved them, but how the heck did they end up here? And then it was like, well, we don't care, let's just
let's just get it before they change their mind.
And then we'll figure out the details from there.
Wow. So yeah, this is the first thing you see when you get here, and it's obviously a super rare S10, probably almost as rare as my convertible S10.
Almost.
You think?
Almost. I mean,
give or take.
We're trying to get to that level.
Well, there's no other S10 convertible with a half rusted tailgate like mine, so it's one of one too.
Awesome.
So
all right. Rare
we'll
truck
trade
club.
even up.
Unbelievable.
Typhoons were 92 and 93, and they built 4,700 total of those.
Still not a ton.
No.
And there can't be half of those left.
No, there are. They actually.
Is there? Really?
Part of the sportmachines.com, sportmachines.net. Sportmachines.com is like our historical page. So all the history, like magazine articles and registry of the truck. So owners can go on there and register their VINs, where they're located, is it still available? So we've been trying to update that registry to see how many are still left.
Yeah.
What really exists. And I always knew there was more in hiding than people were letting on. And it's finally proven. I think it's like 90% complete with the VINs.
Holy cow.
And there's, I think, more than 80% of the trucks still exist.
I would have never thought that.
No,
honestly.
most people don't, because you just don't see them. But there's way more that are just sitting, left or saved. And with the prices of vehicles, with the low miles, no mile is bring a trailer. You're starting to, people are like, well, how many low mile Cyclones out there? I'm like, more than you think, because guys just bought them and stuck them in garages. And now those people are getting older, or they're getting expensive enough where people are like, well, I'm going to sell this truck.
Right.
So we're like, man, I keep seeing 2,500 mile trucks. They can't all be out there. I'm like, there's a lot more of them than you think.
Wow. Yeah, I could see it. They put them as, like, what did a Cyclone cost brand new? Nothing.
$26,000.
Oh, were they that much?
1991.
That was a lot. Holy man,
so
that's a lot of money.
Fully loaded Tahoe 4.3, 4x4, with a 4.3 and AC was like $14,000.
Wow.
So a Cyclone was $26,000. So huge money. Nobody knew what a performance truck was. It was the first one. So they didn't sell. So they had plans on making a 92 Cyclone, doing them in colors, but they didn't sell. And so GM pulled the contract from this company, PAS, that did the primary, like the cladding, the intakes, all the specialty work. They went to a third company, a third party. And then they came out with the Typhoon, and Typhoon was $29,000 in 1992 and 93. So Cyclones were selling for less than 20 grand new, because nobody was buying them. Typhoon, same problem. They sold more of them because they were more useful. Because you couldn't haul with a Cyclone. You couldn't put a trailer brake behind it.
Yeah, it was just a performance.
It was just a truck. And at the time, like now, we buy trucks to perform because that's what everyone wants to do.
Yeah.
Back then, people were like, what do you mean I can't put anything in my pickup truck?
Yeah.
It's got bucket seats. What am I going to do with this?
Yeah,
so
right.
if you knew, and most guys, they had a Grand National, they bought a Cyclone. They had a Corvette, they bought a Cyclone. Like, it was definitely a performance car thing, but it was before it was really a thing.
Yeah.
So that's why there were so few numbers.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So then the Typhoon was the Blazer version. And they made more of them, but still very expensive for the time.
Yeah, I would have never guessed it was that they were that much new. That's a lot for something like that. All right, now that we're in the shop, before we get to this truck that I'd really like to have someday, and he's gonna make me a great deal on it. I didn't realize that they made so much stuff for these Typhoons and these Cyclones. It's like literally any part you can't get, you pretty much replicate, right?
That's what we do. Anything Cyclone, Typhoon, Sonoma GT related. So whether it's used parts that are takeoffs, NOS parts that we've collected over the years, replica parts, exhausts, turbo kits, anything Cyclone, Typhoon related, from like the smallest little switch to, full exhaust systems, or maintenance items and everything in between. So anything that's screwed or glued to that truck, we probably have or can get.
Yeah, super cool. I had no idea. Like, he was explaining to me that the aftermarket, like the factory parts, didn't really last long, right? So if you needed something for one that was Typhoon or Cyclone specific, it just they don't make it. So you got to find it off a vehicle, or you've had to figure out a way to remake it in pretty much the exact factory.
Yeah,
you know,
we try our best to make it to the original specs or better with
Right.
modern, processes. But like an exhaust system, obviously 30 years later, they don't last on the trucks, and there was never an inventory in GM because they were made by a third party. So we went and made a 3-inch exhaust because people are going to need exhaust for their trucks. Anything to keep them on the road without parting them out, without stripping trucks down for one single little part. We wanted to make available so that way they lived on and got better and kept up with age, and also appreciated over time. So that's all we do. That's what we dedicate basically our whole life to, is to maintain, to preserve these trucks.
That's super cool. And first thing I did was look at the welds on the exhaust, and they're really good. Really high quality parts. So I tried to check it out on accident. He caught me, but it does look really good. Some really nice stuff.
Coming from you, that means a lot, because we tried it. Doing everything in house, it's tough sometimes to be a master of everything, but we do try to use the best materials, trying to learn the processes, take courses, practice, make dumb things just to get better. And so that way we can say, we make the best stuff we possibly can. I really do appreciate it.
No, they really do. They make some awesome stuff. So if you guys need anything for a Cyclone or a Typhoon, it's the guy for sure. But here's the truck that he said he's trying to get $3,500 for it. I'm trying to get him down to $2,500. Right? Is that what you said? $3,500.
Daily payments.
For a month?
Yes.
No, this is a super cool truck. And I didn't know a ton about these trucks, but these wheels are wheels that you kind of help design, kind of, right?
Not help.
You designed them, right?
I designed them. The idea I had to grow the stock 16 into an 18, but the wheel was so quintessential Cyclone Typhoon, and it was such the character that I wanted to preserve that, but modernize. Bigger diameter, better tire options, better brake clearance. So what you're looking on this truck is my prototype set that took me about 10 years from inception of idea to chasing down people that would actually make me a one-off set. And this is years ago. Nowadays it's a little easier, but that is the original set. And
they look killer because they look like a factory Cyclone wheel. They're just bigger, and they look really good. I mean, it really sets a truck off. Not that the factory ones don't look good, but that just makes it look, like you said, more modernized, and it looks killer.
But it keeps the character.
Exactly.
That was the key.
You can tell it's a Cyclone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can tell it's a Cyclone for sure. Not like you put some totally different wheel on it and change it, and it looks really good. And like you said, this got Brembo brakes on it, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it's Brembo brakes. You said it has tubular
control arms.
Yeah.
AFCO coilovers, front and rear. It's got a 4-link in the back. It also has a built motor, a built transmission, custom leather seats. It's got a lot.
Yeah.
This one has a lot.
This is a really built truck, and the suspension stuff is all stuff you make.
Yeah. Those are our arms. Those are our spec coilovers. My brake design, and just a lot of detail, and just making it better over the years too. Like we said, it's just not it doesn't just sit here. It's dirty because it gets driven. Yeah.
Well, you drove this. No, do you drive this one or that one? You drove this one.
I drove this one.
You drove this one to our shop, which is an hour and 30 minutes away. So it's definitely a driver.
Yeah.
Which is
a really cool driver.
Which is what I need.
It is what you need.
A driver. Because everything I have, we usually test it by driving it to the 7-Eleven, and we haven't had much luck. There it is. Clutch ain't working.
Tetanus has left us stranded.
And that's a half a mile away.
I saw the last video.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one you can drive to the 7-Eleven in Alaska.
Okay, good. So that's a good sign.
It's got AC, it's got heat, it's got suspension and brakes and steering and everything else. So whatever one you want to go to, this will make it there.
Yeah. Well, that's a good. That's one. We're at $27.50 now.
A day, right?
Yeah. Can I park it at your house if I get it?
Yeah, well, you're not gonna get me in trouble with Sam.
Huh?
You're not gonna get me in trouble with Sam.
And she's not watching. She plays the videos, but she just puts them to the side, so she won't hear all this. See how clean that is. saw one earlier that was all factory under the hood, how they come, and there's definitely a lot more going on. This is like a really cleaned up.
Yeah, simplified.
Yeah.
We call it Stock Plus.
Stock Plus, and it does still look stock, but it just looks so much easier to work on and get around things.
Yeah, it eliminates a lot of the stuff that's just, if it's not going to be a perfect original museum piece, then there's definitely some things that you can live without, like the ABS system, because it takes up a lot of room, adds a lot of weight, and the old brake system is just so antiquated that there's no reason for it to be in there. Hard metal piping, routing of intercooler lines, a lot of that can just be simplified and improved. So that's what we do. And then while we're doing that, stainless hardware, silicone hoses, relooming stuff to really just give it a little bit more modern, clean vibe. So,
yeah, really cool. So, one thing I wanted to show, if it's all right, is this is the intercooler, right? And this is the cap that goes on the intercooler to air to water, right?
Yes.
And this is the cap that goes on it. And he was telling me that these are a steel rivet, or no, they're a rivet that corrodes.
Well, the factory cap has a steel cap, steel rivet.
Right.
And it corrodes to the aluminum plate.
Yep.
But this is the only vehicle that had that aluminum plate on it.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that this aluminum plate with the lettering, right?
Yep.
So can we show them the one you make to replace that?
That is a replacement one.
That is a replacement one.
That's a replacement.
Do you have a It looks so factory. I didn't know. Not that I'm an expert with these trucks, but
this is a factory one.
You can't really tell the difference besides the rivets.
Thank you.
You can't really see anything.
That's the best compliment ever.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And they even made like a die so that the rivet is rolled the same and everything. Like that's crazy. That's really going down into that's something I could see Danny doing if this is.
Oh yeah.
He would get all fired up about that and making sure it was rolled right. But that is super cool that you go through that to make sure it looks really right.
Yeah, and be better than it was while, like you said, looking identical. So like making a die so that way the rivet rolls the same way as the original, but they're stainless rivets instead of steel. The cap is stainless instead of steel. So a lot of stuff that nobody ever sees or really appreciates.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many hours I have into making this thing.
Yeah.
But also it's like one of those pieces that at quick glance you don't notice, but like you go to a car show or you go, let's say, you go to an auction, or somebody has me look at a truck like, hey, do you think this is worth it? I pick up on all these little things because I'm very familiar with it, but I look at like, well, if you have a wrong cap in there, what does the rest of the truck look like? If you were willing to skimp there, where else did you skimp? Whereas I look at it as if you take this level of lunacy, you're probably going to sprinkle that level of care and love across the rest of it. So it's kind of a meter. And it's also just kind of, I'm detail oriented. I like things to be a certain way. So if we're going to make it, we're going to make it the best way we possibly can.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. So, all right, if you guys don't know a lot about a Cyclone, this is basically an all-wheel. Before we get over there and look at that, this is an all-wheel drive S10 that they made in 1 year only, and it has a V6 4.3 with a turbo, and they made roughly 300 horsepower. Right?
280.
280 is what they
was
say,
in the
right?
book.
So that somewhere around 280 or 300 horsepower. This one makes about that, or is this one a little?
This one's got some stuff.
Got some stuff to
it.
It's
a built engine, forged rotating assembly, different heads, different camshaft. That's of our own design, and a little bit bigger turbo. So this one's probably making 400.
Wow.
Horse, somewhere around there.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's stout. Yeah, that's really stout. And all-wheel drive. So you can use a lot of it too. Really.
You can use all of it.
Yeah, it'll work good. Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah.
And the real key is, the horsepower number isn't tremendously impressive. The real key is the torque. So factory, they made 350 foot-pounds of torque. This thing, if it makes 400 horse, it's probably making over 500 foot-pounds. And it'll make that at 1,500 to 2,000 RPM. So as soon as you want to get into it, the power's there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's where this truck lives. Like that's where it likes to be. So
yeah. Super, super cool truck. And I just wanted to explain the Cyclone all-wheel drive before we look at the Sonoma GT, because that's a different, like rare.
More
rarer
rare.
Than this.
More rare.
More rare, rarest. The convertible's a little more rare than that one, but
like I said, we're trying to get to your level someday. So we got some rare stuff,
Close.
but we're learning that we have to get even more rare stuff so we can
Yeah.
hang with camera.
I have a Sawzall. We could make one of these.
Hey, I have one of those too. That's all I need?
That's all you need.
Let's get the blades ready.
Don't tell anybody that secret, though, because then there'll be a bunch of them.
Oh, good call.
See?
Good call. We got
And this one has the same wheels, but they're 19s.
This is our newer version
Yep.
of our super stock wheels. So those were the prototype originals. I then later redesigned the wheels to be a blind hole 3-piece forged design. So forged centers, all made in the United States. Forged barrels, forged lips, also U.S. manufactured. And then we assemble and finish them in-house, all by hand. So because the Sonoma GT is 2-wheel drive and doesn't have the fender arches, I thought the proportions were better with a 19-inch wheel. So it's our 18-inch face with a 19-inch step lip. So it's the same wheel, same style, but in a 19-inch.
Yeah. No, and it does. I do agree. I think without the cladding that goes over, it does look really appropriate to be a little bit bigger on this truck for sure.
And with this, we had a little bit more freedom because not the all-wheel drive. We could change widths and tire sizes to fit the truck better without having to be stuck to the all-wheel drive and making them the same front to rear in diameter.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. So yeah, this truck, you said there's how many of these? Not a lot, right?
806.
806 total.
92 only.
Wow.
806.
That is super cool. And this color is, and this factory paint.
No.
Factory color.
Factory color.
Factory color.
Yeah, it's been repainted, not well, obviously, by, you could see that, but I care more about the handling and performance and drivability, so the paint is last on my list. But that is an original.
The color
teal.
combo is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the color combo. And the trucks, both of them, they both sit really good. They both are real low. And that was the first thing I asked, do they drive good? And he said, yeah, they drive great with all the suspension stuff. They drive really good. So that's cool. And this one, see this, we know a little bit about this, not a lot, but it has an LS in it. Which I think I really like the V6 because we don't have one of those. But that's obviously really cool too. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Which truck do you guys like? Is this one even for sale?
They're all for sale.
I don't even know. I didn't even ask him about this one, but this is a really cool truck too. But I think the Cyclone is like, for an S10 person, I think that's the one to have, right?
I think we might be the wrong people to ask.
Well, I want one of each.
Our answer is all of them.
You're right. Yeah. That's true.
So as you can see here, there's all of them.
Yeah.
So you want a regular S10? Got those. You want a 4-door S10? Got those too. You want Blazers? You want Cyclones? You want Typhoons? You got Sonoma GT? Yes. The answer is just yes.
I guess which one isn't the one I want? Which one's the one I want to get next to the collection?
That I think is
on the way to having all of them.
Yeah, you just check off all the boxes. Yeah. So you started at the top.
Yep.
Convertible.
We did that one. We got that one. Yes.
That's a big one off the list.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, what else is left?
Now that you have that, it's like we'll just
What else?
Yeah. Something nice this time that doesn't have a bunch of rust will be ideal for sure. I think the Cyclone. He's a cool truck.
I think they're all cool trucks.
Well, that's true. That's true. It is really hard when you come here. It's like very tough to, not want to just buy a bunch of stuff. You know how it is.
No idea what you're talking about.
How many of these things did you have at once? You said at one point.
Oh, currently I have 20.
20.
Yeah.
So they made like 2,900
Cyclones,
and you have how many Cyclones here?
I'd have to count, but it's in double digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cool part doing what we do is, number one, we love them.
Yeah.
Number two, I own way too many of them. But then between the ones I own and the ones we work on for customers, that we've had it happen a handful of times, and it's like nerdy car stuff, and I get like goosebumps talking about it. That's how you know you're doing the right thing, right? Is we've had successive numeric vehicles in the same room.
Really?
So one time we had 3 Cyclones in this room, and it was 1108, 1109, and 1110. And the last time those 3 were together was when they were built.
Wow.
And now 30 plus years later, here they are in our shop getting worked on or modified, and it's like, well, that's kind of neat. And it's funny when it happens because you get so into the day-to-day, we're building this, let's finish that. And you're like, wait a second, what number truck is that? Wait, what number? Because that's how we keep track of them, is the numbers. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wait, those three are all in succession, and we've had that happen like 3 or 4 times where it's like we had 3 cyclones in a row, we had 2 typhoons that were, like 1408 and 1409, both whites next to each other, like literally we're in this bay right here, and it's just like, oh wait, those two, the last time they were like that was when they were built.
That's
and
crazy.
now here they are in our shop getting worked on, and they're together again.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a second. And then I actually have done it a couple of times where I'm like, I'm a savant when it comes to these trucks, so I'm like, wait, that number sounds familiar, and we keep files on all the trucks, and I'm like, oh wait, we worked on that one too. Wait a second, we worked on one that was 3 away, and they all happen to be here at the same time. So then you kind of geek out a little bit, like they're so rare. How do you find them together? How do you find so many? And then to find the ones that are, in succession like that, it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Now I tell other people, and they're like, what's a cyclone?
Yeah.
But then I'm sitting there going, oh my God, look at all these together.
Yeah, that is really cool. And I don't know, can we explain a little bit about this stuff? We were talking about this earlier also, and maybe let you explain that stuff.
Well, this is the body cladding that kind of makes the Cyclone and Typhoon body kit that everybody would call. But we've been collecting and repairing and rebuilding this stuff from the beginning because it's one of the hardest things to find. It was only made by PAS back in the 90s, and the molds were destroyed. And so whatever's out there is all that's out there. So we found ways to track them down if they're for sale. We've made molds to repair them. We've made a special epoxy to fix them, so that way we can keep more of it alive. And then in passing, this past couple months ago, we found a gentleman that was selling off a bunch of parts, and he was part of the original design program. And in buying these pieces, we came across some pieces that had Cyclone trial part stickers, and out of all the pieces I've seen in all these years, I've never seen that sticker on one. So even after 20 years of doing this, I saw something a couple months ago that I had never seen before. So those pieces were the trial parts on the prototype Cyclone that this guy designed.
That is so
crazy.
That is so crazy. Honestly, we've been here for like a few hours now, and some of the stories would be a lot to put on this channel right in a second, but I think it's a history that like I didn't know anything about, and I think there's so many people that would be interested, even if they're not Cyclone, Typhoon people. Like the history he's explained to us about all this and the rarity of like the parts that ended up in the semis and stuff. I think we need to do a podcast. I really think like if we could get you to come over one day and do like a pod, I think it would be something so many people would be interested in. Like I could talk for hours and hours about this stuff, and I find it super interesting that all this stuff is like super rare and how it ended up everywhere, and just everything is really cool.
And now that's kind of funneled back together. So
Yeah.
it was made, it broke off, it went wherever, and now it's kind of come back. And when I started Sport Machines, when I started buying these trucks, I bought one as a daily driver. That was how I got into them.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were super cool and I wanted something different. And then, as they say, the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, to put different trucks together, meet different people that were part of the program, the things we learned while building parts for them or trying to save parts, like, hey, I can't find one of these. Where could that be? And the things you come across, and then to collect it all and bring it all together, and then put the stories together to realize, like, hey, why do I know all this? But man, I've been all over and met all this stuff to put this story together that kind of had been lost or forgotten. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool. So, again, it would be a lot to put on this channel, but I definitely think we need to get him over for a podcast on the second channel. I think that would be really cool.
I'd love to.
And we're very fortunate to even let us over here to see all this stuff and to be able to video some of this stuff and share it with you guys, because you won't see this anywhere else. You won't see this much of like a collection of this kind of stuff anywhere. That's it. He has more than I think anybody, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
at one
sure.
time there was a collector that had, I think he was over 50.
Wow.
Maybe approaching 100.
Yeah.
But he was, a humongous collector.
Yeah.
So he had 3 Marlboro Cyclones that they only made
Wow.
10 of. He had, a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
he had me beat in trucks for sure.
But not parts, probably.
No. He would buy parts from me, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
So when they were trying to work on the trucks,
Yeah.
I know that collection has since dissipated. So I don't think there's more Cyclone Typhoons in any one spot than here.
Wow.
I know there's not more parts for Cyclone Typhoons anywhere else than here.
Wow.
And then we keep building more.
That is cool. And it happens to be an hour from us. What's the chances?
It was meant to be.
It is. I mean, it is. Unfortunately, it's gonna.
It could be dangerous.
It could be. Yeah. I'm gonna have to have one very soon. So we'll see which one it's gonna be. Maybe this one. Maybe that one.
Oh, the black one.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Let's know what you guys think in the comments. But if somebody doesn't already know about you that has one of these, which most people that have one probably do, where do they go to get a hold of you or to buy parts?
Sportmachines.net. That's our website for online parts store. Also has our contact information. So sportmachines.net is the best place. Sportmachines@hotmail.com is our direct email. And when you call or email, you're going to talk to me.
That's awesome.
I'm the one that answers all those emails and questions and stuff. So if you need something, got a question, need help with the truck, give us a call.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely give them a call if you guys need anything. Or if you just want to buy one, don't buy the black one because I need that one. But if you guys want to buy one, I'm sure he's got some for sale too. And super cool trucks, super cool Blazers, or I guess they're Blazers, right? The Typhoon's a Blazer.
That's blasphemy. You can't say Blazer.
What is it? What is it?
Typhoon.
Well, I know, but it's a.
Yes, it's built on a Blazer, but it's touchy subject.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Yeah. Take.
Yeah.
It's not a Blazer. There's Typhoons. He has
It's built on a Blazer platform.
Yeah.
But if you call it a Blazer, that's like fighting words.
Yeah. True. All right, we won't do that again. But yeah, if you guys need anything or want to buy one, give him a call. And thanks for letting us come by. Greatly appreciate it. And I definitely think he'll be the first podcast we do because I think the stories he shared with us today need to be shared to a lot of you guys. And you find it super interesting. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.